What's up, everybody? Polo from the future here, and I just want to give you a warning, okay? A couple of warnings this episode before we get started with this. One, Tails' audio changes 7 different times, okay? We had issues with his mic, so he might sound a little different than normal. Be ready for that. And I wanted to give this warning ahead of time because we didn't really go into warnings per se. But quintessential quintuplets is the probably main topic of the discussion this episode. And we kind of spoiled all of it. So if you haven't seen quintessential quintuplets, I would suggest listening up to the point where we start talking about quintessential quintuplets and turning it off or skipping to bleach talk. So I just wanted to give you all this heads up before this episode started. But other than that, we hope you enjoy the show. It's a banger.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check waifu waifu. Dang, Teliano, is that you?
You know I like Blink 182.
This is episode 182 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex and Don'tTalkShop.com. It's also brought to you by Patreon producers. Shout out to our Patreon producers over there on Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. We couldn't do this without you. We appreciate you. We love you. We can't thank you enough for all your love, kindness, and support over there. Make sure you go to patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu to get early access to the video version of the podcast, access to our bonus podcast, The After Story, and so much more coming. Shout out to AB, Aaron Brown, Dre the Go G, Johnny from Shogo Ha, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, Explicitly, Monique Williams, and Nachi. We appreciate y'all for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We can't do this without y'all. Means the world to us. Thank you so much for supporting us. Yeah. How you feeling, Tel?
Man, I'm solid, bro. I'm solid. I got a lot of rest this week. Watched a lot of anime. I'm good.
Yeah. Same. I made it to Ohio, so I'm here and it's cold.
Hey, what's the temperature?
Good question. Let's find out. It's Sunday at 12:01 Eastern now. But it's 35 degrees.
Man, you know how I would low-key love to not have a hoodie on and it be low-key a decent temperature in the house? Because I feel like I'm sweating right now. It's damn near 80 degrees in the house.
See what I'm saying? That's crazy.
I had to turn the AC on.
That's wild. I'm out here suffering. I would rather be there in that heat, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But I got to see the family, you know what I'm saying? So I got to see the family. Yeah, Mic Check Waifu Waifu is the anime podcast brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. EST, CDT, sometimes EST because it's gonna be EST this week because I'm in Ohio. But yeah, we gonna we come to what was I saying? Shit, mine scattered. Got a big episode today.
It's a big one, thick one.
Big old curious on what Tel got to say today. But like I was saying, it goes live every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. EST. We cover all seasonal discussions. Next week is a big week because next week is the winter preview. I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait to talk about the winter preview season. We're gonna pick our sleepers, so on and so forth. I think my chair is squeaking. My fault, y'all. But let's get into the show, Till.
Let's do it.
What was your episode of the week, brother?
My episode of the week. It's kind of hard for me because I really only got one thing on my mind. But my show of the week has to be More Than a Married Couple.
Yeah, I was gonna. I was thinking about this. I was gonna text you like, we might as well do a 3, 2, 1 countdown on the episode of the week. Because we both gonna say More Than a Married Couple. What a fucking perfect episode this week. It was absolutely perfect. Make sure y'all stay tuned to the spoiler talk if you're watching More Than a Married Couple.
Yeah.
That's going to be a second thing we cover in the spoiler talk after the music break. So remember that we go into, on this show, the show is broken up into 2 halves. You got one half of us doing non-spoiler discussion on seasonal anime topics. And then there's a music break, and then there's spoilers talk. We tell you when that's coming up. We do our recommendations right before that. And we play a nice tune, and then we go into spoilers. Probably of episode 21 of My Hero. Is it 20? I don't even know what episode it is of My Hero.
No, it's episode, hold up.
Sorry, I'm fucking struggling.
Episode 11 of My Hero.
Episode 11 for My Hero. Episode 10 of More Than a Married Couple. And I don't know what else. Does anything else really matter? You want to hear something crazy, Till?
What's up, bro?
You know how I do it, how I told you last week. I do different orders for how I watch my anime. I'm like, I start from least excited to most excited. Okay. So least excited started off with
Blue Lock.
Yes. And that was probably going to be my episode of the week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because it was finally something I can like say that was and it obviously it's not because it's spectacular. Okay. I know we know the show isn't spectacular, but it was most improved. It was going to be the most improved.
Mm-hmm.
But with the order in which I watch things, from least excited to most excited, More Than a Married Couple was last. Even after watching I can't wait to talk about My Hero too. That shit, yikes. But it's gonna be very interesting to that More Than a Married Couple discussion. I think that episode was perfection. Almost you can call it our gut check. It got close. I thought it was gonna be our gut check, but it didn't.
The episode was intense, but let's not dig down on that one. So I know you talked about your watch order before, right? So you watched Blue Lock and you said it actually was most improved.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a decent episode. This is an episode where I feel like I almost cared about the characters.
You want to take it to spoiler talk? Or,
yeah. We could take it to spoiler talk. But I almost did. I almost cared. I got a little excited. I found myself like, oh shit, getting a little excited about what was going on. So yeah, we could say that for the spoiler talk. Say that for the last thing we spoil. So that'd be episode 10 of Blue Lock. Still gotta be my third monitor.
It's episode 10 for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta be my third monitor. I'm only working with 2 now, so that's always hard for me to do. All right. So talk to me.
So what did you watch after Blue Lock? That's all I want to know. So what you watch after Blue Lock?
Great question.
Nothing changed your mind. Like, was Blue Lock a possibly episode of the week all until you got to More Than a Married Couple? I'm trying to gauge your taste on this one right now.
See, this is why I love the way I watch things and utilizing AniList to do so, right? Actually, let's give you the correct order. Yuzuki-chan Wants to Hang Out was actually first. Now, it's not because I was the least excited about that. I just know what to expect from that show. So I want to go into a clean episode. Then I went to Blue Lock. And then Spy Family happened. And then Spy Family was almost my episode of the week after Blue Lock. But it was like, but Blue Lock was most improved. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Spy Family episode was fantastic. It was brilliant. But Spy Family is always brilliant, right? It's always a good show. Now, is it consistently like wow? Like episode 11 was the Spy Family? No, it's not consistently wow, but it is consistently good. You can never say Spy Family is never good, because it definitely, most certainly is good. Then I went to Beast Tamers. Beast Tamers had a good episode, but it was like, it was good.
It was okay.
Yeah, it didn't replace the most improved. Then My Hero, and then More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers. So right after My Hero, I needed a palate cleanser. Obviously. And that palate cleanser is More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers, obviously.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because you know how sometimes say something, but then also sometimes something can be
Wait, what you
so
say?
bad.
Your noise gate cut you off.
I'm sorry. You say I'm saying like you know how sometimes things can be so good that you need a palate cleanser, but also things can be so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So bad that
It's a spectrum.
so bad taste in your mouth. And you need that palate cleanser too.
It's a spectrum for sure.
So we want to see what you think about that later part of the episode.
Yeah, I am going to say this because this is not really much of a spoiler. Dobby stinks. He's probably the worst character in the show. Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anybody I dislike more than Dobby.
So I definitely want to talk more on that. And there are aspects of Dobby I like, but his character himself, I have to agree with you. He doesn't necessarily himself doesn't feel interesting. What I care more about is the family trauma.
Yeah,
I feel like that's way more interesting than his actual character itself.
Yeah, I think that's lame too. But I will talk about that. We'll talk about that in the second half of the show because we need to. We definitely need to. That's obviously going to be the first thing we spoil. But anyway, yeah. More Than a Married Couple is fantastic. I did finish some stuff too.
Oh.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I finished. Where is it? When Will Ayumi make his move? I actually finished it. As I would discuss last week, I believe it was last week. There's a bunch of shows that I started and didn't finish. If you go to my Annie list, I think you can see these shows that I didn't finish. It's quite a bit of them that I just was like, yeah, I don't want to finish this, because what happened was I went back to an older show last week, and I ended up watching it and ended up, okay, I like this. I'm gonna start giving stuff more of a chance. But I started doing that, and I finished When Will Ayumi Make His Move. The ending was like all the way up until the ending was fantastic. Then it ended, and the way it ended is just like, ugh. how typical romance. It went back to the. I can't go from watching something like the quintessential Quintuplets movie to watching something of the typical romance. And if you don't know what I mean, slight spoilers for When Will Ayumi Make His Move. I know y'all probably won't watch it anyway, but it's an older show from about 2 seasons ago, or last season, 2 seasons ago, and like it's this situation to where this guy won't make his move unless he beats his senpai, who is the club president, the shogi club president in shogi. Again, spoilers, full spoilers. This is your time to fast forward about 2 minutes into the podcast. Actually, I'm gonna time myself right about now. So if you want to watch When Ayumi Make His Move, skip 2 minutes ahead from now. It gets to the end of the show. His senpai, who's the 3rd year and he's the 2nd year, she's on her school field trip, so she's gone for 4 days to Kyoto. He decides to get his other club member, who's actually really good at shogi, to help him, because he's really bad at shogi, to help him with his shogi issue. She trains him up for the full 4 days to be able to beat his senpai. He plays the senpai. The last episode, he plays her, and he finally fucking beats her. This is his time to confess. Now, this is after she comes to the realization while she's on the trip. Now, it's dope. It's so special. Like, she's on her trip and she's realizing something like, why can't I stop thinking about Ayumi? Like, hold on. And she's conflicting with herself. Like, wait, do I like him? Long story short, she finds out she does, because she actually misses him so much. Can't stop talking about him. Can't stop thinking about him. So she really comes to the realization that she likes him. She gets back. They play. He beats her. It basically just ends after that. He doesn't confess. They insinuate that it's going to be a 2nd season, and the reason why he don't confess is because she gave him a 4-piece handicap. So he only won because he had a 4-piece handicap, which means that he's not going to confess his love until he beats her fair and square. But the buildup was so powerful. Like, he was about to make this happen. He was about to tell her, he was about to confess, and nothing. Just, it ends. What the fuck, man? And that's kind of typical of romance anime. So I know you diving into this feet first, so you new to it. Expect that a lot with any other slice of life that you watch. Expect that the shit is gonna go so good. The show's gonna be so good. You're gonna be invested in these two people, and they're something, and then something happens and it ends. No, let me clarify. Nothing happens and it ends.
So I can't expect the quintessential quintuplets kind of ending.
Absolutely not.
Now, there's one more I wanted to ask you, because I do want to talk about that too. I saw on Twitter you said something about DIY.
Yeah. Shout out to
where that fall on your list this week.
Shout out to Dad Needs to Talk podcast, who was the first person to recommend that to us. And oh shit, I just remembered something too. You know what? I was getting ready for the trip, so I didn't even get a chance to even think about that. Sorry, Dad Needs to Talk. I meant to tell you, he DM'd us on our podcast page and said, hey, just watch episode 1 of Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi the Rock, or whatever. He said, just watch episode 1. I just need to hear what you guys think of episode 1, and if you will continue watching it. So, Dad Needs to Talk podcast. I'm sorry I didn't remind Till. I had to prep for this trip driving from Houston to Cleveland. I'm sorry. I will make sure we do that. Episode 1 of Bocchi the Rock. Because we both know he knows that we both don't like musical animated and our shit. But he said just watch episode 1 and see what's up. But shout out to Dad Needs to Talk podcast and TCB NYC. They both recommended this to us. Usually when Dad Needs to Talk podcast recommend something to us, we like to give it a try. So I gave DIY a try because both him and TCB NYC gave it a shout out. And I watched the first few episodes. I know if you guys listen week to week, you guys know how I was feeling about it, how I can only tolerate 1 episode per week at first. But then something told me to just sit down and just watch it. Just catch up. It was about 7 episodes in at the time. I was on episode 3 already. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just watch it. Watch episode 3. Go to episode 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, oh shit, it's so cute. Oh, they're so adorable. I never rooted for a group of girls so hard in my life. And it's been fucking splendid to watch. It's always good to watch something that's positive, that's net positive. There are situations in it, but the situations don't bring you oppression. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need that uplift, that palate cleanser again.
So it's that kind of like, it's that same level of powers omnipotent kind of thing. Like it's just,
you might cut all the way out, bro. I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry. It's that same level of like of wholesomeness, like Saint's magic powers.
Even more wholesome than that, bro.
Perfect.
That's how crazy it is. Because they're just, again, they're just cute, man. And like the main character, she's just, nothing can tear her down no matter what. And it's just adorable. It's just a sweet show. I love it.
All right. Now, I do still have to pick that up, so I apologize for never actually picking that up. Because I was also supposed to pick up Love Flops as well.
Oh, yeah, man. I wish you did.
But here's the issue with that. As I told Polo, watched 9 episodes of the first season of Quintessential Quintuplets to finish off that first season. Watched the second season and also watched the movie. So I digested a lot of Quintessential.
Well, I mean, when you really think about it, it's just a 24 season show and a movie. Because it's 11 and 12. 20, so it's 23 actually. Y'all hear how he just... I'm just saying, it's kind of... it's like, kind of easy.
First of all, Steins Gate kicked my ass. I had to do that in 2 pieces.
No, you're right. That's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. Steins Gate is definitely a lot. For sure.
You gotta hear me out though. I said something about my team at comedy first season not being as good as Quintessential Quintuplets. At that point, I was not finished with the first season when I said that.
Yep.
I would like to come back and touch on that statement one more time. The first season of Quintessential Quintuplets is much better than my cinematic comedy. I don't care what nobody say. That first season to me was just, it felt very like the structure was just better for me. Like it was something there for Quintessential Quintuplets in this like first season that I was really interested in actually getting to know these characters way more than I was in my teen romantic comedy. Now, I think after that is where my teen romantic comedy really took off. The Quintessential Quintuplets as a whole, for me now, I love it. I thoroughly, very, very thoroughly enjoyed the fuck out of that anime, bro.
Yeah. Welcome.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared to enjoy the anime as much as I did. I loved. Yep, I loved every character. Like the only characters I did were like the guys that he got cool with at the end.
Oh yeah, but they were easy to ignore.
Yeah, because they were really only there to like tell they were just there to kind of help give him some kind of like companions outside of the girls for the story or whatever. But literally, our six were amazing, and I love even how they built on the parents and stuff like that, and like the season and into. There was just so much there, and I have to say I felt like it was a lot to do. Maybe because I watched so much, but I feel like I watched the movie separately, right? Like I took 2 days off, watched the movie, and I didn't update my list until I finished the movie, because I didn't want people to say no. I had watched this part in the sequence, or whatever. Not specifically you, I would have told you, yeah. But I wanted to finish it all at once and then let it be like boom. This is all I had, and that movie was a lot to digest. I will say this: the only issue I had with the entirety was that the movie was too long.
It's too long.
I feel like there was nothing they could cut out from the movie.
No, yeah, I disagree with that.
I feel like everything in the movie. I feel like everything in the movie was supposed to be, but I almost feel like they could have given us like, I hate to say like 2 more episodes. Like I don't know, because I guess we get into that trip, like that festival in that movie,
and what they did with the movie.
That started like 40 minutes in with how they built.
Yeah, this is about to sound crazy.
Let's do it.
But bear with me. That's to me personally, this is super, super subjective, because I am a Quintessential Quintuplets fanboy since the moment it came out. But that movie was a film to me. It felt like a film. Like it just, the way it skipped around and did like the day with one of them and the day with Nino and the day with Miku and the day with, and how it all came together, the way it all culminated. It's no fucking way to me. It should have been shorter. There's no way.
Well, and I think that like, when I say it should have been shorter, I don't mean like I wanted to miss any of those details. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think they could have given us another like 40 minutes in like the actual season, right?
Yeah.
And jump to this, because I actually would have preferred if like we had gotten, boom, we're at the festival, and then like kind of how we got that transition, exactly what you said, how it led to Yotsuba, how it led to Miku, how it led to Ichiki, how it led to Itsuki, how it led to, just going down the list. I want to see how it goes down that list, but I would have that to almost be like the start.
Yeah,
like we get a thesis, and then it's like let's slide into it.
Quick side note, just entertainment, real quick. Y'all might find this funny, but you see how you just rattled off the names of those characters like that. Name 3 Blue Lock characters.
Miss Monster.
Okay, I just wanted to get my little point in, but back to what we were talking about. More importantly, the Quintessential Quintuplets movie.
Do they have names in that anime, bro? They got Jordan numbers. They got numbers, bro. Come on.
The way you just rattled off the Quintessential Quintuplets just made me think. I'm like, damn, he's just fucking gone. But you just I can't. It's funny. It's just crazy. I digress. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Because Tell was spitting and I didn't mean to interrupt. But seriously, listen. Did you understand now, back in earlier, about what, 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. Did you understand when me and Crystal was discussing Ichka and I kept calling her Bitchka? I think that was season 2.
Well, she got real.
Your noise gate cut you off again.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she got real shit in season 2. But
hated that, bro. Ugh, everything about that made me sick.
I agree because it's real manipulative.
Yes, man. I can't stand that's. I guess that's just because it's my biggest pet peeve. I can't stand manipulators.
Manipulation, I agree. But here's my perspective on it, right? Is I feel like these characters, like, I look at these moments, like, especially season 2. Season 1, it was an introduction, bro. It wasn't an understanding. There was very little understanding there. Season 2 was the understanding. That's where these characters actually decided we're going to understand each other, not like each other, not blah, 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 right? Because they are going to like each other. But this is about the actual understanding of the characters at this point, right? You understood that each key, although she was the oldest, most mature acting, had to feel like she should have taken ability.
Off again. What you say?
Yeah. Hold on, man. It sound bad. It sound good.
I mean, either way, that's better, I guess.
Well, basically, we found out that it's worse.
It's worse. I hate that fucking microphone.
Hold on, let me see something. See something. I do. I have to continue my spitting.
Yeah, you do.
Sure.
I think your microphone is finally dying, to be honest.
Okay, well, hey, we're going to switch. I don't know if that's going to help at all.
We'll see.
All right. But basically, I feel like that was us understanding that was each key's way of essentially putting herself on what she felt like was a fair ground. She is the actor. That's what she is as a character. That's why Nemo, she had to be upfront and direct. That was who she is as a character. And when she found out that she loved him, she didn't have a choice because any other way was not true to her. Miku,
she's not going to be true to her.
Yeah, Miku had to do exactly what she said she was. And she, like, a lot of Miku's stories, like, we get to the point to
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Go back to Miku again. What you say?
A lot of Miku's story was her gaining confidence in herself. Okay. Now, the another thing that I add.
Hold on. We go back to what you were saying.
Okay, so before I really interrupted, now I got to put that. We talked about Miku, right? And one of the big things about, I think, Miku's story was her gaining confidence in herself, right? That was how she was supposed to fight. She didn't want to fully commit to what she had to say, what she wanted to do, until she said, boom, I'm confident, I'm ready, I am this. And you know, I love that whole character arc she had in terms of her own personal growth, you know, if that makes sense at all. But Miku definitely was my favorite to win.
Yeah,
I did turn into a bit of a Luna fan at the end.
Okay.
I love when someone can say exactly what they want, and regardless of how shy or how hurt they feel, they're like, fuck it, we go for it, right? It's like, man, have a choice. We got to go for it. I love, and I hate to say that we see sisters step over each other, but when said, this is love. I'm not an enemy, but I can't be an ally in this. I got to get what I want, and I love that. I love that whole story. Monique watched most of the movie with me, and she actually, but she googled who he proposed to in the end. I was sorry that she did. She didn't tell me.
Why would she do that though?
She just wanted to know because she wasn't gonna watch the show. She didn't know it was a movie, but she didn't tell me. But it was so good, bro. It's so good. Basically, this was one of the best character arcs, one of the best shows that gave us character arcs for like how these characters grew in general.
Growth, yes.
In their final forms. And like even to the point where they understood that their quintuplets, they're the same. They're also extremely very different. You know, and it's not even like it's anybody, regardless of who it is, we're all going to be different. If Taylor was my twin, Taylor and I do this podcast together, but each one had very different opinions, views, likes, dislikes, that kind of thing. It's the same thing here. These girls, regardless of how lovely they are, how evil they've seen in certain scenarios, right? They're angels in certain scenarios, and they're all demons in others. You know, it's like they have these. It's such a great show that shows that kind of like I guess not disparity, but those differences, those huge, vast differences like that. And I'm pretty sure you saw a lot of it. I know you neglected to speak on some of it because you knew I was going to watch it eventually. Yep. How was you feeling? How were you feeling?
You said what?
How were you feeling?
I mean, exactly what you said. It's the perfect example of what a show that has character growth is, what that looks like, right? There's a lot of shows out there with characters that you spend a lot of time with. All the time you spend with Goku, I don't know what, 400 some odd episodes if you just count Dragon Ball Z and Super or whatever, 400 some episodes. You never seen character growth like this one. And this is why I am so appalled when I get a show that just doesn't do that. Remember, season 1 of Quintessential Quintuplets has just 11 episodes. It has 11 episodes, but it gives you enough of these characters for you to just experience or learn that all these girls are different. You can't stand one of them. You like are annoyed by another. You're empathetic to another. It's like you feel all these different emotions for these 5 same looking girls that are completely different. And I guess that's what makes it so special. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. There's like my favorite moment. This is again spoilers for Quintessential Quintuplets, but my favorite moment is when the very beginning, when you think about the season 1, and they do the thing where they all look the same. Okay, when they all look the same, and he can't tell them apart, and he's calling each one of them a different name, and then you go to the movie, the very end of the movie, and they're in their wedding gowns, and he tells them all apart like it's nothing. That shit hit me so hard because I'm like, damn, man, that's growth, complete character growth. That was heart tugging and emotional to watch these girls experience the fact that he knows, he cares about y'all a lot, but this is the one he fell in love with. And that's like, it's big, it's huge.
I think that proved every moment that they talk about, like with their mother, about that love, you know, because he very clearly loves all of them, but it took that moment for him to realize which one he was actually in love with.
Yep.
You know?
Which again, now I'm gonna ask you this: did it make sense to you for his choice? Because remember what I said 2 weeks ago.
What you say 2 weeks ago?
I said it absolutely makes sense, even though I didn't want it to be that case.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense for him, right? Because any other character would have been, I'm not gonna say too right, but let's say like to me, Nino would have been like, in my mind, would have been perfect. Like I love Nino. Even though I love Miku, I think Nino would have been perfect for him because of how his personality is. Like they could have that, but also like he's who he is as a person. I do feel like it meshes with Yotsuga in a way that's like they can actually really thrive well together. Like he is this kind of like strict regimented person, and she is the complete opposite, bro. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that she was the one that he found when he was younger. That totally made sense too.
She was the most stubborn in terms of actually representing her feelings to him too.
Yep.
Every other sister had already gotten and fully established that they're 100% in it. She was fighting it, but like not in the sense of like upfront fighting it. She just wasn't saying it.
Yeah, she felt the same way they did, but she didn't want to be in their way.
On toes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's special, man. Quintessential Quintuplets is special. It's now you understand why it's literally one of the most popular things in Japan, because it's easy to get attached to that.
It's now one of the most popular things in my house.
I can't believe Monique did that. Ugh.
She didn't watch all of it with me. She just watched the movie.
I know.
Because I told her the movie is where we're going to get the answer.
Yep. Why Google it, though? Why not just enjoy the movie?
Because she likes to pick with me. She likes to mess with me sometimes. But great movie. I'm not going to lie to you. Quintessential Quintuplets. And this is just like a quick rating. 9 out of 10. Maybe a 9.5 out of 10. Because as soon as we watched the movie, I felt like everything in the movie was perfect. Animation, pacing, sound design. It was a 10 out of 10 if we just count the movie. But the scene was a whole probably like a 9.5 out of 10. Like I loved it.
Yeah, it was something like, it was something of a film to me, man. Like, again, it had everything you wanted in a movie. It didn't shy away from fucking rapping. I hate movies, especially anime, slice of life, romantic movies. They never like to rap. They always like to be this ambiguous, can I have your name? And it's fucking weird endings and shit. Like, that was a Your Name reference. For those of you that have seen Your Name, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. It's annoying as shit, bro. It's annoying as shit. Like, rap, please. Pull an Astro Lost in Space. Fucking pull a Summertime Rendering. It's okay to wrap this shit up. You know what I'm saying?
You feel fulfilled at the end of this, though. You feel like they gave you what you came here for.
Yes.
And that is way better than anything else. Like, actually, that's like going out to eat at a restaurant. You ask for whatever you ask for, and you get exactly that. They gave you what we wanted. And yes,
it's a culture thing.
Get more.
It's a culture thing, though, I think. I think it's a culture thing because I think what they do is they try to leave it up for interpretation, because they think interpretation is the best way to leave the fandom curious, which makes sense. It makes sense.
I'm an artist. We did a lot of closure in college, but closure isn't for every single story, every single art piece. You got to switch it up.
Yeah, it's something about that leaving shit ambiguous shit is just, it's in a lot of fucking movies. Like, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Fucking love that movie. It's such a good movie. It's a little ambiguous at the, well, not really, actually. Never mind.
Pancreas was good with a little salt and pepper.
Actually, no, I'm mistaken. That's the wrong movie I'm referring to. I think it was another movie, but yeah, because I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a pretty nice rap. But
one of the best things I watched this year for sure. Like, I was not expecting it to be that good. I was expecting to watch it and kind of have fun thrashing a little bit. It was good as fuck. I'm gonna make sure I put
at the beginning of the episode. So I'm gonna make sure I put a fat spoiler warning for Quintessential Quintuplets, because we just went all out on that shit too. Not gonna hold you.
It was amazing. I'm so happy, and I kind of need a Quintessential Quintuplets poster now.
Yeah, me too. I just want dude, Miku has been the background on my computer with Rem for so long, because she just, to me, and even after the movie, she's still like unbeatable on my waifu skill, only because it's just, she's literally the quintessential quintuplet of growth. Like, I think her and Nino had the most growth in the entire show. And it's sad that neither one of them, which is both of them, because it's so good, because, oh my God, sorry, a little rewind. What's so good about it too is that I fucking hated Nino at the beginning.
Of course, that's what she was there for.
Yeah. Like, you're so annoying. And this wasn't like I hated her as a person. Because again, the shit that she went through and the shit that she was saying and doing makes sense for the context of the situation, right? Like, this guy is literally trying to break us apart. Like, we've been sisters for all this long. We'll figure this shit out together. We'll handle it. We don't need this tutor guy coming in here and splitting us up or whatever, because she started to see different shifts between her sisters because of this guy coming into their life. And it all makes sense. You get it until she figures out, like, fuck, that's amazing. And it just takes the fuck off, and I absolutely love her for that.
Yeah, I ended up a bigger fan of the Miku thing. Not gonna lie to you, but Miku is still as a character, bro. I love the star scene where it's all behind her.
Yep.
And she's like, I love you.
Yep.
She points, and he's like, no, I really love my sisters. Okay, I rock with that.
She was great, man. She was great. You got anything else?
Nah, watch it. That's it. That's all I can say about Quintessential Quintuplets. Watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've listened this far in, I'm pretty sure you watched it. Let's go back to some trash, shall we? No, not trash. Shinobi no Itoki. Okay.
So trash.
It's shout out to our bruv Ash. He's like, this show's not trash. When I commented on Rob J's tweet, he said, Rob J's like, let me turn on this episode of Shinobi no Itoki. I'm like, this show is trash, but for some reason I'm invested. And that's still the case. I'm fucking invested. I need to figure out what the fuck is going on. But again, 25% of a season of something being good still means it's bad. That's an F. Remember how grades work. 25% is a bad score. And the last 2.5 episodes, maybe 3 episodes were good. They were good episodes. They were like, oh shit episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's intrigue and secrets and fucking important situations that you can't fully escape. You know, I'm not going to spoil it. Again, I don't, if you're not watching it, that's okay too. But because it's ongoing, I'm just not going to go into spoilers. It got interesting here. I am ready for it to be done. It doesn't need any more seasons after this. It can be done in the next 2 episodes. I'm glad we're not doing 20 here.
The fact that you were still watching Shinobi no Itoki, but you were not watching Reincarnated as a Sword, it's wild to me, bro. Yeah, I do understand, because Reincarnated as a Sword is like, I guess I feel the same. Like, it's not like amazing. But I would just say it's okay, but it's like, it's enough.
It's just about to sound crazy, but Shinobi Itoki had more intrigue for me to want to continue to watch it than Reincarnated as a Sword. Reincarnated as a Sword had left me, I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with a talking sword and a black cat girl. Like, I don't want to get invested in that. I don't even want to try. So
it's something about the meathead in me that when they have like really good fight scenes, even though like this is like okay as fuck, I feel like they have some moments that really make up for it. And I'm just like, I'll keep watching it to get one more of those moments.
I feel that. I can feel that.
You got 2 more episodes in me to give me another moment. It's kind of how I'm looking it through.
No, I feel that. I feel that for sure. But, I couldn't do it. There's so much here. I am going to make it, because I have to. Before we go into Bleach talk, I have to make it a priority, an absolute priority, to clean off my anime in progress list. Crystal still makes fun of me for that, because it's a lot of shows in here that I just didn't finish. Like Mars Red, I didn't finish, and it was a very interesting show. There's a lot of shows that's just in here that I'm like, okay, even if I go through it and just drop a bunch of stuff like that, I know I'm just not going to watch. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna clean out this list though, because when winter comes, winter's gonna be a whole nother story, because it's just so much. Stay tuned to next week's episode, Winter 2023 preview. 2022? Winter 22. I don't remember how we label our winners. Because is winter 22 last winter for us?
Yeah, it's winter 2023.
So it's winter 2023. Okay. Yeah. That's gonna be a game changer. It's a lot of shows. Like, so because we just took last week we took a glance at it. And I saw about 18 shows.
Yeah, it's hot as fuck that season.
Crazy. So
the winter's heating up.
Winter's heating up for sure. But next week, we're going to also, not only are we going to give you the preview, we're going to put a capstone on a lot of these shows. Well, not really. There's still about 2 more weeks of a few things. Yeah, but yeah, we'll give you the cap of the season next week after the winter 2023 preview episode. So the week after that is going to put a wrap on a lot of shows. So let's do a quick, since we're not going to spoiler talk about this particular show, before we go into Bleach talk, before Polo cues that music, episode 9 of Chainsaw Man. Quick little analysis of how we feeling about this show. Do you even remember the fact that you watched Chainsaw Man?
I did watch it. I mean, it's hard to feel anything specifically with everything we talked about and already knowing what's happening, right? I did think it was cool to see animated. Obviously, sound design is still a 10.
You said what?
I said the sound design is still a 10.
Really?
Yeah,
sound design?
The music and how she moved her hands together to squiggle beat.
Okay.
That
was animation.
I'm talking about all of that was like had sound to it, is what I'm saying. So that's just the stuff I was mentioning, because like the animation I've already written the animation off, because like I feel like the animation is going to be what it is, right?
I see.
It's high quality animation, so I'm already expecting it to be good. So I'm paying attention to like the things like the sound design and how the characters actually like. When I look at the animation, looking at how the characters are actually like moving more than how they're moving at this point, because I feel like it's already really good animation. So just give me. I'm gonna look at the other details now. It's kind of more or less what I'm saying.
Yeah, when I hear sound design, I just think of like the music in the background. And again, in this show, the music in the background is so forgettable that I don't even remember it at all. I will say this is the best outro they've had so far, in my opinion. It was pretty clean.
I thought you were saying because the girl disappeared.
No, it just sounded cool. It just sounded really good. It was like a nice little R&B-esque joint. I absolutely finally loved seeing the way that our knife. Again, I'm not gonna go into too deep spoilers here, but our knife girl awakened, if you will, quote unquote, and she hasn't even fully been woke yet. Obviously, as we know from reading the manga. It was interesting. It was cool to see that animated, like you said, and then seeing her do her fucking just weird fucking contracted shit. I don't remember her name. Our main director chick.
Makima?
Sure. You could have said John and I'd be like, yeah, all right. But again, I think it's finally about to wake up for me. Because it's about to get back into just the pure action meathead shit that I just need from this show and that animation. Fuck everything else. This is when I turn my brain off for and just go. And we're finally about to go. So
that's fair.
I'm looking forward to that. Now, Olo, cue the music. All right, man. Bleach is getting nuts.
It's getting nuts or been nuts?
It's been nuts. Dude, to think that she was one of the original 13 guard captains, I'm just gonna get right into it. It's fucking bananas to me. Her ass shouldn't have been locked up in that hospital healing people. She could have probably solved a lot of issues if she was in the main fucking fight. But she probably could have also died too.
You know what I like about this?
What?
It's like Bleach fans really let us sit on this. Like they didn't say nothing. Like I love like that Bleach fans who read the manga didn't say nothing.
Absolutely.
Like this was a great 2 episodes. I'm right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So sorry, y'all. This is Bleach Talk. We're going to spoil episode 10 and 9 and 10. Yeah, 9 and 10 of Bleach. Apologies for not mentioning that at the start of Bleach Talk, but I just wanted to get right into it. It's nuts.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is Unohana. Y'all already know who she is. Apparently, if y'all watch these last 2 episodes, she's the original Kenpachi, right? Which is dope because the title of Kenpachi is really just it's this title, right? For the strongest. And to me, it just shows exactly how much of a demon Kenpachi is, and how much of a demon she is.
I was about to say Kenpachi still shouldn't even been Kenpachi. That's the crazy part.
Well, yeah. He got the title of Kenpachi because his he has no Bankai. Mm-hmm. You know, don't know the name of his Zanpakuto, but he has been able to achieve this great level. Like he fought her and no one else could really stop him, right?
Yep.
The only way to stop him was going to be to kill him, and you lost. Like we saw, he had a mountain of bodies as a kid. Dude, Kenpachi's a monster, but that wasn't even like what I wanted to say. This is what I wanted to say. Bleach should have the title of shonen. They should just say like this was they own what shonen is, because if shonen was this good all the time, I don't even know if there would be a need. Like obviously there's gonna be a need for other categories, but man, like shonen mainstream, like I wish the mainstream was always this solid.
Me too. I even again, I ain't gonna say this because I'm gonna say it. I only watched 530 something episodes of One Piece. Okay, out of those 500 and something episodes I watched of One Piece, Bleach is shitting on One Piece. Shitting on One Piece. I know. I'm gonna get the wrath of the internet. But to be honest, I gotta watch One Piece now. I gotta see if One Piece ever gets even close to this good. Because I mean, if you let it be told by, you know, our homies over at Worst Gen or anybody else that likes One Piece, Merc, let them tell it. One Piece is literally destroying Bleach in every possible way. And if it's just that good, why the fuck don't I know this? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck haven't I watched this? So,
and yeah,
I need to.
And it's like, I think it's something about like the fact that you don't even have to watch One Piece or read One Piece to know what's happening in One Piece a lot of times. But like I said earlier, I feel like Bleach fans, they just let us sleep. They didn't come knocking on our door and say Bleach is the greatest shit ever because of this. They just say Bleach is the greatest. Do you want it? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. And then we just let it go. People talk about how Bleach in the big 3 or whatever they sometimes they leave Bleach out and stuff like that, and it's like
so ridiculous.
Bleach fans, they chill the whole time and be like, just wait till 1,000 Year Blood War arc come out. we waited, and goodness gracious, I'm very appreciative. But I want to talk about the Ichigo thing too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously in the episode 9, they're in the hot springs and healing, and you know he gets this punch from what's his name? I don't know his name right now, but he punched Ichigo dead in his it was the chest, the gut, and Ichigo goes there and he strikes back as soon as he goes for it, and you know it's kind of dope, right? He's like, if you weren't fully healed, you wouldn't have been able to survive this.
Which is nuts.
That's crazy. Then Renji, yeah, he's like, nah, I'm good too. And he's like, bro, you look like you still healing. And he did look like he was still healing, but he took the hit. And I love that this is a sign of their actual potential, not just, not just the healing, right?
Yeah.
Because after they leave, we saw that Ichigo fractured dude's hand, who was one of the strongest people in the Saratai as far as we know. And then, the other dudes who were in there helping them or whatever, more or less, were in suits that would keep them from being basically disintegrated by the healing waters. And it's like, so they are actually ridiculous, right? Renji not as much as Ichigo, but still, nonetheless, it's almost like that being around Ichigo leveled everybody up.
100%, yeah. If you think about the fact that everybody fought Ichigo at one point in time, and Ichigo either mopped him or gave him a run. You know what I'm saying? Then when we get to the second area where they got to eat all the food, I must say she turned into a waifu. I was like, God damn. I fucking love the way Bleach does their female characters. Like they're pretty ones. They do a real good job with them. But I digress.
She was a lot of fun before that, and then it was like, oh yeah. Also, when I use up all my spiritual pressure or power, this is what happens. So it's like,
and just again, we talk about this all the time. The fact that Bleach follow its rules extremely well. It always follow its rules. We learned about the candy. That she's the one that created the candy that separates the spirit from the being, which is fucking so important to the show. Like that's episode 2-3 shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit that we got during early Bleach, to know that she's the reason why that's been created is special. That goes to show that she's also probably a demon as well. And further on in the following episode, we will learn even more. But to just see that this is the way that this training arc is about to start, I'm loving it. And we know what Bleach is. Bleach is so formulaic. It's so formulaic, yet more entertaining than probably at least the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, probably since like the start of the Great Ninja War. Because the start of the Great Ninja War was probably some of my favorite shonen moments, probably due to like nostalgia and etc. But just the way it started and the build up to what it became was extremely special. And this 1,000-Year Blood War arc is that level to me. I think that seeing what this is about to become, like we know, like I was saying, it's formulaic. We know that Bleach, you fight, you get your ass beat, you train, you come back stronger. That's all it's ever been, and then you win. That's all it's ever been. It's never changed from that particular formula, but it's always so special with the interlocking stories between different characters, like Kenpachi going into the hyperbolic time chamber, basically. with Unohana, and it literally expressing the story that you never even thought about from when we were just watching normal regular Bleach. When we were watching, normal regular Bleach, it was like you didn't even think about Unohana and Kenpachi even knowing each other, let alone having this relationship that spans farther than probably anything we've seen.
And we had no idea she was a demon, like we said. We had no idea that she was essentially a criminal who was just out here slaughtering people, and got her role because, they wanted her to be better. And then even find out that like she became a healer because she just wanted to keep fighting. That's it. She mastered what was it, 8,000 fighting styles or something like that. And just became a healer because it's like, okay, well, if I can keep healing myself, I can keep fighting. So she, in her spirit, she has that same spirit of Kenpachi Zaraki, right? So that's why she was essentially going to be like, or she would have been essentially the first Kenpachi. They have that same spirit of they don't want battle to end. But what happened with her is that, and what kind of happened in episode 10 was more of the fact that she is now the teacher Kenpachi, not Kenpachi, who she used to be, but she is the teacher now. Her goal is to essentially elevate Kenpachi Zaraki, and I loved that story. And it does kind of suck that we're losing really big characters.
Yeah, and that's where I was gonna go with my next question to you. Is because, to be 100% honest with you, while I get why, I don't feel like she needed to. She didn't need to die. Especially with the power she achieved with like almost mastering they call it Keto or something like that, Kaido or something like that. The fact that the fact that she masters Kaido shows that yes, Kenpachi still could have won that fight and unlocked as much of him as possible, and still probably could have survived. But to then be able to awaken Kenpachi's Zanpakuto essentially is what is why she needed to go. It all had to be passed down to him, and now he's gonna have the Zanpakuto of her. Did he leave his sword there and pick up hers? Is that what I saw?
No, he just put her sword standing up.
Okay,
but he still left with his sword because
that was because it was calling to him from the darkness after he threw it.
Yeah, because if you remember, we watched before. His sword was trying to talk to him. He just never realized, more or less. His sword was always trying to get across to him because I think he said something about ringing, but he couldn't get it. He didn't understand, but he was just fighting. So it was nice that we got to see that his sword actually had a voice and the whole time had been trying to get across to him. Mm-hmm. I agree, though. I don't feel like she really had to die. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like her role was bigger than that, right?
I agree.
She's essentially one of the best healers, if not the best healer around. And then also a combat demon. Like, I feel like that is a one thing I will say that I don't like about what happened is the fact that I guess writing her story this way means that they would have had to really, really flesh out how ridiculously strong she is when she gets into an altercation with enemies, because we haven't really seen her go out and fight other than with Kenpachi. So realistically, it's like they've been holding her back this whole time and we didn't get to see her flex. To
just end her right here at this one particular moment, which is a bold writing move. Very, very bold.
It's not like I don't understand it, but I do still kind of hate it because I would have loved to have seen her do something.
Yep, go down on the battlefield. Fight one of them demons that's a part of the Yanich fucking crew or whatever. Like,
or even if she had gone out there and been like, oh well, the healers are here now, and she just mopped somebody who was like dogging people. Yeah, I'd have been like, wait. We ain't seen her do nothing yet. Mm-hmm. Like, and she popped out and just said, oh, "Yeah, I'm the healer, but slash," and that's it for somebody. That would have been dope. And
there's nobody left from the original, right?
Like that's not it. The original 13 anymore. Yeah, that's it. But
Captain and her was the only two.
But I do want to say, outside of their kind of like story arc, where Ichigo and Renji are
now.
Currently, I like this concept too, and this is part of the concept why I said Bleach deserves that title of Shonen Haikyuu, because we see this character who I'm thinking is like a complete goofball character. I'm thinking I'm going to hate him, right? I actually don't hate him. I do think he's kind of annoying, but the idea that he's the creator. Number one creator of Zanpakutos. He creates the best Zanpakutos. And then he created thousands. I think he said 6,000 of these Zanpakuto.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. It said that he created the Zanpakuto.
I think he was the original creator of Zanpakutos. Yeah. But if you saw, he said he's number one. The girl who was there, I think, was number 2 or number 3. Who like kicked him or whatever. Yeah,
so essentially that's why he labeled, which is annoying too, but that's why he labeled himself the Zanpakuto God. He's a part of that squad 0. Mm-hmm. Our eater girl or gluttony girl or whatever created the candies, the most important candies in the Soul Society, period. Then you go from her to the number one, the Zanpakuto creator. The person that gave you Zangetsu, the person that gave you Benimaru, like this person gave you these, and to see what he showed. I'm sorry, I just had to make sure that that's clear that people understand that he literally created all these Zanpakutos. So you just fathom his power or his strength in general.
And then let's also look at the fact that these 6,000 Zanpakuto that he said he created for like them centuries ago, more or less, they can turn into anything, right?
Yep.
They just have to be, you have to, you know, pour your life into it. You have to actually use it, love it, do that kind of thing. And that's dope because, you know, and I think in Japanese culture in general, when they fight, that's one of the things that they do. You know, your sword becomes one with you. And it's like, I do think that's one of like, I'm not sure if it's called like Bushido code or something like that, but one of the codes is that like, you're not more important than your sword. And the Soul Reapers need to also, you know, understand that. That's why like the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc was so dope. And that's why this is even like cool, even resemblance to that, because your Zanpakuto is not separate from you. Your Zanpakuto is not less important than you. Your Zanpakuto is your equal. Your Zanpakuto is also you. And that's what Ichigo, I guess, was supposed to have learned all this time, but it even appears that he's probably still not quite grasping that. And what do you think he's missing? Like, what do you think he's not understanding?
Listening to the creator talk about it, it felt like he just, and I never felt this way. I haven't felt this way in a very long time, but it felt like he thought Zangetsu as like his crutch. And that's what I'm assuming that he meant. I feel like he thought that Zangetsu was just his savior instead of his equal or his because I never thought Ichigo thought Zangetsu was above him. I never thought that ever once in the entirety of Bleach. I always felt like he was all about making sure I don't know. I just feel like Zangetsu was the one carrying his burdens and him relying on him too much. I think was the for his source of power is the problem there. Outside of Renji, I think Renji, like he said, the creator said, was like he understands like they're on the same level. I think he mentioned that both times to Renji, which means that the discrepancy between Ichigo and his was that they weren't never on the same level. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like it's such a major loss, man. It's fucking huge to see him basically back to square one, which is dope, man.
And I mean, this isn't the first time, right? Because technically his Zanpakuto was broken before.
I don't think it was broken.
It was like, it wasn't in its original form. I think it was something changed about it. But regardless, it's like, now Ichigo has to view, because I assume you already viewed his Zanpakuto as a separate entity, a separate being. But yeah, like you said, it can't be his crutch anymore. It has to be not a tool, but a partner. And I guess like that's why it was also so cool to see that the what they call him, Asurachi or whatever he called them, that the Asachi, the Zanpakutos that he created, they were like crying. I think that was cool because it's like, I need you to recognize that we are not tools. We are not just weapons. We are more than that. Just like a Zanpakuto essentially can be a tool or a weapon. You can use your hand like a wrench and unscrew a nut or bolt. You can be a tool or a weapon too. So it's like, I guess I wonder what the full blown lesson is going to be. I assume it's going to be something like that, but I like to see that, because Ichigo's still like not. He's 18 now, 17 maybe. He's still not like fully mature, so he still has a lot to learn. So I do want to see how he evolves in this, and then also how it affects someone who's human, Soul Reaper, Quincy, like whatever, Fullbringer, everything under the sun. I want to see how it affects somebody who is quite literally everything.
So it just makes me think, and it made me think about this when you say you're just not ready. You haven't learned the lesson of this yet, and it made me think about all the times that I would see a Soul Reaper fight in the Soul Society. You can always tell the love they have for they Bankais, Bankai, Awaken, whatever. They always say that. They always awaken and they say their name. You know what I'm saying? Ichigo was always Bankai, and then that's the Gotencho, and it was it. Like he never really, never really felt like he gave the love that the other Soul Reapers did. And I thought about that when they were mentioning all this shit about how he was failing to put them on the same level. It's like,
you're right,
man.
Because even Renji,
yep,
Zabumaru roar, and it roars, and it's like, it's because he knows. But I mean, we also had that whole where Ichigo didn't know what Zangetsu's name was.
Yeah, but he learned it actually relatively soon in this show. And
I forgot that. I guess also forgot that Ichigo is part hollow too. Yeah. So it's like, is it going to be another fight where he has to accept the hollow part of his story and the Soul Reaper part of his story, and now the Quincy part of his story? So it's going to be like his sword has to be multifaceted like him.
Yep.
So is there a lot more acceptance for like that, a lot more that somebody like Ichigo has to go through to even understand his sword or Zanpakuto in comparison to like anybody else, you know? Like, is that barrier? And then also not to consider, you know, he wasn't always in the Soul Society. He didn't hit there until he, you know, was in high school, basically.
Yep, and had to
so like Rukia. These are people who have been in the Soul Society for hundreds of years, centuries, and they just look young. So they've had plenty of time to understand and practice. I guess they never grew up in a world where knowing that your Zanpakuto is your equal was a thing, you know? Like, they know that the Zanpakuto is supposed to be equivalent to you, is supposed to be your partner. So
all their lives, that's all they had.
The only people who don't see that are going to be people like Kenpachi, who is a demon, and people like Ichigo, who is not from here. So we got two evolutions about to happen, bro.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. It just keeps getting better. Like I said on Twitter, Bleach more than married couple, but not lovers. And My Hero's literally carrying this entire fall. Yeah, you can throw in stuff like you can throw in stuff like Eminence and Shadow. You can throw in stuff like Beast Tamers, but those are good. Those are good shows.
They not amazing, or they're not carrying.
These are carrying. Like, these are absolutely carrying the entire fall.
If there was a backpack, it's My Hero on the left strap, more than married couple on the right strap, and then the actual bag is Bleach because it's putting everything in the bag.
That's a fact, and that's all I mean by that. I think I'm extremely proud to say that Bleach is carrying this fall. Again, I said this multiple times during this podcast. If this podcast don't get fucking thrown in the goddamn garbage, this y'all don't understand what we went through. This particular winter though is probably going to be a lot of shit that we're gonna have to kind of muster. So be ready for that. Let's get into this recommendation roulette. I'm gonna go ahead and roll this number real quick for the year. Random number generator. Okay. 17.
I feel like we just hit 17, didn't we?
I don't know. I don't remember. I can tell you, boo, as soon as I get to 17. 2017 anime. Boom. Okay, yeah, no, we ain't touched 17. Something that's not popular. So, again, people, we see Made in Abyss. We know that's very popular, so we're not going to say that. Okay, I got it. I'm going to go with Masamune-kun's Revenge. I absolutely love that show.
Masamune-kun's Revenge?
Mm-hmm. It was one of my favorite slice of life of that year. And the story was fire. It got a 65 on Annie list, and I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But I loved it.
Is Saga of Tanya the Evil, is that popular?
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. Let's go with
There's a lot of shit here that you haven't seen.
There's a lot of slice of life in here I haven't seen.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you've seen My Hero Season 2, Food Wars, Classroom of the Elite. Oh shit. Hold on. No, I can't. I ain't changing it. 2017 was crazy.
I was gonna say Rage of Bahamut, but I don't actually think I liked it. I'm not gonna recommend something I actually didn't like.
If you want, I can recommend 2.
No, bro, I gotta find something. Something that's
Dude, Love Lies, Scum's Wish. That came out the same year, 2017.
Scum's Wish.
Yeah, that's another slice of life that's fucking that's not nasty, but dramatic filled, just pure drama. Absolutely emotional drama.
Let's go with sheesh. I
seen In Another World with a smartphone? With my smartphone? You seen that?
Another World, no what?
In Another World with my smartphone. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't watched that one yet. I think I wanted to watch it though.
It's pretty good.
Ancient Maker's Bride.
There it is.
I know it's popular, but Ancient Maker's Bride.
That's okay, because that's a great one. That's an absolute great one. Damn, I seen a lot. The Recovery of an MMO Junkie was fantastic. Love and Lies I talked about on the show before. It's a lot of good stuff, man. Just Because I talked about it on the show before. Another romantic.
Did you say Recovery of an MMO Junkie?
Mm-hmm. You seen this?
I'm adding it.
Let me give you the synopsis. It's about a girl who's an MMO junkie. She became a NEET after she quit her job. And she started playing this VR MMO. The VR MMO she plays it as a dude. And she goes and she meets these group of characters, and something happens. And you get extremely, extremely intrigued by that something that happens. Wait, hold on. Let me just see if this is inside of the synopsis so if I should say it or not. 30-year-old NEET, after dropping from reality, she's taken into the search of fulfilling. Yeah, okay. The MMO. Okay, it doesn't have it in there. But yeah, she plays this MMO as a guy.
But then I added it to my plan on watch. So there you go, people.
All right. We'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 182, Blink 182 of Mic Check Waifu. Um, we're back. I think I'm gonna name this episode Blink 182.
I mean, that's a good name.
So I might just change the whole because people ain't gonna listen to the episode. They're gonna look and see 181 and then Blink 182. What is this? It's good.
Blinked 182.
Ooh, Blinked 182. It'll fuck up the lining of our episodes though, you know? Because you know how we got like 172 and dash in the show episode. I digress. Yeah. We'll talk about that offline. Welcome to Spoiler Talk. Spoiler Talk, we are going to spoil My Hero 11 first. We're in the Married Couple episode 10 second and Blue Lock 10 third. All right, My Hero, bro. Dobby fucking sucks. He's just fucking corny, bro. It's his whole reasoning behind his whole family thing. Like, obviously, it's terrible, right? Obviously, what our main guy is quote unquote doing, Endeavor. But the way and again, this could be completely wrong. So margaritas, relax, okay? The way they spent it up like, yeah, he kind of like wanted to train his kids really hard. He wanted his kids to become more powerful than All Might. Okay, he worked them to the bone. He was kind of mean, but it all happened after he lost Toya, right? That's when that switch flipped. Because that's what they made it seem like.
Nah.
If you're fine, just chilling back.
Hold up. He had a switch. Endeavor was a demon, and I can't really do too much of it.
Okay, maybe they'll go more into that, but from my perspective, it looks like it's from the way they made it seem like he didn't have that flip until after he thought Toya was gone.
Yeah.
But if that's not the case, then maybe I'll understand when I see it. Even still, regardless, it's not enough for him to be this fucking lame dude. It's so fucking corny.
And the reason I agree with you, right? Why it's not enough for Dobby to be like this, for his specific character arc, is we see this a lot in the real world, right? And I hate to say like this, but like this is how we get school shooters. It's kind of how Endeavor raised his kid. Is how we get school shooters. It's like he was abusive, manipulative, overall destructive to his family. Endeavor would have been better outside the home, like if he just didn't be a dad, right? Like high key, he would have been a better absentee dad. But because he was present, I feel like he did more damage to his family. That's probably right, yeah. And I can't tell you everything because I think they're gonna explain it in like the next episode. But I think what Dobby is suffering from, what Toya is suffering from, is like actual family trauma, right? And like I think of as a kid, right? Like I didn't always want my dad's attention, but I did want to impress my mom, right? And like you see your dad as a number 2 hero in this world, and you know you kind of really want to live up to his expectations, even though he didn't specifically tell you got to be stronger than All Might. You know, you see what your dad's ambition is this entire time, and then boom, you know, he has to push you aside. And I'm not gonna say what the reason specifically he pushed him aside for, but I mean I feel like it's obvious looking at Dobby. The reason Endeavor couldn't train him the way he really wanted to is because if you look at Dobby, he destroys himself when he uses his full power. Yeah. So Endeavor trying to be a somewhat decent dad can't do that. Can't say, Toya, you have to do this, right? So it's a lot of really cool things that like go into that, but I still think Endeavor would have been a better absentee dad. We wouldn't have Dobby. We would literally not have Dobby. Yeah. It's lame. It's a fucking lame character. I can't
There's no justification for killing 30 people. All because daddy was mean to you. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't experience what the suffering him and his family went through, I guess. So I can't necessarily put myself in his shoes. But I've also seen him with his other kids, and his other kids aren't fucking lunatics. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, they know what his dad has been doing is fucked up, is trash, is garbage. But they also are like, whatever. Like, they're sad about it. They're mad about it. They're upset. Yeah, they're hurt. But they're kind of fine. Fine.
Right. The big thing with that is, everybody processes it differently. But they also show, like, and that's why I agree, like, there's no excuse for being a murderer, right? There's never going to be an excuse for being a murderer. But it's like, I don't know how you put, like, numbers on the trauma that somebody causes you, because, like, even, like, if we look at Todoroki's mom, it is Endeavor's fault that she scarred Todoroki, but it's not, like, because she technically did it. It's not Endeavor's fault. Endeavor didn't say pour the hot water on Todoroki. The mom did it, but Endeavor is the root cause from all the trauma he caused her. So it's like, is she a demon for causing harm to her son because it was an accident? She didn't see her son Endeavor and got scared. So
yeah, sure, it's definitely Endeavor.
But I think like Dabi Toya is a gross exaggeration of that, though. Like, he is what that is if you explode it and say this is what the outcome of that could be.
Sure, but like, maybe just because I only see part of this. I'm only seeing part of this. It seemed like to me it got worse after he lost Toya. Toya is his firstborn. He was training with Toya. He was still smiling. Like, again, this is all different. I'm not seeing all of it yet. So keep that in mind, manga readers. Understand that I haven't seen it all yet. He was still smiling when he had Toya, when he was training Toya. Mm-hmm. Then it looked from, again, my perspective, when he lost Toya, he lost his fucking mind. That's what it seems. But he didn't really lose Toya. Toya was still alive. Why not come back?
Yeah. We gotta stop talking about that part because we haven't seen all of Toya's perspective yet. I think that, like I said, I think that comes in the next episode.
I hope so.
And I think
he's still lame.
I don't think,
regardless.
I don't think it's gonna change your mind at all, because I don't think it would change my mind either. But I do think it'll just give you more, like, insight, I guess, on Toya's mind. Like, I don't, because like I said, I can't find myself agreeing with Toya, but I can find myself understanding, like, that's the shitty scenario that you're in. Will it make me a murderer? No.
There's no understanding the reasoning behind all this corny ass showboating. Like, do what you got to do. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to make the superhero, the number one hero, live long enough to become the villain, essentially. That's essentially what he's doing right now. And it's just lame. If you're that upset, fucking kill him. Just kill Endeavor. I don't even, like, all this, this is my dad. He's done this and he's hurt my mom and my dad. This is such a corny way of getting revenge to me that I think there's better ways he could have done it.
Do you think killing Endeavor is the easiest way of making him hurt? Because I don't think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to put a stain on the identity of him being the number one hero. That's what Endeavor has been fighting for Toya's entire life. Yeah. So instead of actually killing Endeavor, he wants to put a stain, him being that stain, on his number one hero.
Yes, and it's cooler ways of doing it. Okay, because there's a hero killer named Stain out there. That did it just right. That got you to the point where you are now. Just pick up the fucking mantle. Be cool and mysterious about it. Be fucking like, ebb and flowing, doing all the prostrating and Maury DNA test bullshit. I think it's just lame. I think it's just corny. I think it's just mad corny. I'm willing to say that there was better ways Dobby could have done it, but I get it. I get his goal. I get his it's working. Sure. So the kids at the computer kind of made me feel like this too. When the kids were at the computer, you know, the little shark kid and the not too looking kid. Something about them when they were first like, well, it doesn't. This is a villain. They kind of like broke the logic almost right there. This is a villain talking about a hero. Why will we ever believe them? And then he went into deeper detail. I still feel like those kids should have been like, but he's still a villain trying to bring down a hero. That's what villains do. We know he's a villain. We've known he was a villain. You know, like Dobby's been plastered. If I remember correctly, he's plastered as most wanted since he was with the league, right? So he's already very much out there. So the kids at the desk know that he was a villain already. They're like, you know, he's why would we listen to this guy? He's a villain. My thing is he said one other thing about Hawks killing Best Jeanist. And these kids were like, oh, now I believe this guy over, you know, not believing him. What? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know Best Jeanist isn't dead because he pulled up like a fucking demon. What number was Best Jeanist?
Like number 3? Number 4?
How? What the fuck does he do?
He controls any fiber, like clothing fiber.
Oh, okay. Any clothing fiber, not just denim.
People wear clothes, so he controls people.
Not just denim. Any clothes, any fabric.
No, any clothes, as long as it's a fibrous material.
This whole time, I thought it was just denim. I was like, okay, this motherfucker's Best Jeanist is the weakest name of all time. But no, we know that he's not actually dead, so that's gonna completely flip that on his head. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like Dobby. I think he's lame. I think he'd been done way better.
I think that no matter where you live, whether it be a real world or a fake world or society or whatever, there's always going to be people who want to believe in the heroes. There's always going to be people who think that whatever system is in place is wrong. And I feel like that's a safe zone for civilians, right? Like, they want to be heroes, and Dobby showed them heroes killing people. Even though they were villains, you know, these are villains who are like, they put the villains in a place that makes them look vulnerable. You know, this is something that's sensitive. Now, a lot of adults are not going to see it that way, but the adults aren't who the heroes are most worried about. It's the children. Yeah, and they said that the children have more powerful quirks than before. And let's be real, children are more malleable, but also are more open to information differently in the way the adults are. Adults, we get stuck in our ways, so we're not going necessarily. We're going to see villains and think you don't have a reason to be a villain. So we completely write off what you said. Whereas a kid are going to be like, nah, I look at how adults are running this hero society and I don't vibe. And I think we said something about that last week too. Yeah. That these kids, the way they look at it is different. And that's why I think the kids were so quick to say maybe it's true, because they don't think, and we saw this before too, if you're a villain, they didn't see it in the test. They don't see any reason for you taking a villain down if he's running away from you. Like, yeah, subdue him, but you shouldn't necessarily be killing him. And Hawks, they don't know the situation that Hawks is in, right? It's a bunch of misinformation. If Hawks didn't take him down, as far as we know, it was going to be a wrap. Yeah, 100%. Right? But they don't know what Twice's quirk was, right? You know, so it's hard for civilization if you just show people a hero killing somebody. I mean, it's the same with the police. You show police killing somebody, it's hard for us to just say, was the police right in this scenario or what's going on? You know, it's the same in this scenario. The kids see it differently because they're like, this. There's more to this story.
Yeah, it's again, still, the prostrating, the over dramatics make him lame. That's more of my story.
Yeah, I'd rather have I hate to say it, because I feel like this is actually worse animated than it was reading. Like, there's been a lot of this season that's been so much better animated, but this is one of those scenarios where, like, even his dance, I would have rather just never seen that.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's what they calling it, a dance.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to imitate the Joker.
Nah, that fell miserably. The thing is, as much as I hate Dobby as a villain, I love the fact that I hate Dobby as a villain, and it's not because he's a good villain or anything like that. It's because he sucks. He's just a shitty character, but I still love the episode. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, what did you love about the episode?
The episode had pacing that continues to be consistent, and that's what I love about it. It's continuing to continue. That makes sense. It's not stagnating. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
still moving forward.
It's still moving forward, and that is so very important to me compared to what I've gotten in the previous seasons. That I don't care if I hate Dobby. I don't care if Dobby's fucking whole monologue was the corny, and the dance with that Dobby was the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I still love the episode because we're still moving forward, and that's all I can ask for. You know what I'm saying? All I ask for, and it's moving forward in a way where I like it. I mean, I don't like Dobby, but I like it. I like the fact that it's continuing to go. You know.
And maybe I feel the opposite because I already knew what was coming, right? To me, I thought this episode was ass. Like, I did not enjoy this episode. I tried to. I really did. Mm-hmm. I really just wish that they got all the details out of the way in this episode and get back to the meat and potatoes of what's happening. Let's get past this. Because I feel like this took too long.
Much time. Yeah.
They even did a couple of little slideshow things where, like, they show Endeavor and Deku's back, and the only thing that's moving in the episode or in that screen is like Endeavor's fire, and it's like, we didn't need to see that. Y'all could have literally just cut straight to words. We didn't need to see 5 seconds of that scene. And that's one of the things I guess that bothered me. I felt it. I was like, come the fuck on. I was so bothered. It could be petty, but I just felt like this episode could have moved a little bit faster. Like,
yeah, because again,
I didn't feel the swell of emotion, I guess.
Yeah, no, the emotion wasn't there because I think that was because of Dobby's fault. I think Dobby he just didn't win you over. It was corny, and I mean that's how I feel for me personally. I didn't mean to say you. I didn't mean to put that in your plate, but that's exactly how I didn't feel that way about the episode per se. I just felt that way about Dobby, and because I didn't have that emotion about Dobby or care about anything he was really saying, but saw that it was still going forward. Saw Deku talking about some, don't take me. I need to be with Shigaraki, and the result of what happened after that fight, that epic fight like from previous episode, it was pretty cool. Even the Uraha, what's her name? Is that her name?
Uraha.
Yeah. Even her fight with Toga I thought it was progress.
I vibe with Toga way more than Dobby.
Yeah, me too.
And to me, Toga makes way more sense because I look at Toga's from like, and I think we talked about this last week too. Toga's scenario is not Dobby's. Dobby's is emotional abuse. Toga's is a mutational gene that is misunderstood by everyone, right? Toga's issue is that
screams schizophrenia, bro. It's just screams schizophrenia, and that's dope.
She has no choice because everything, and like we talked about this before, the quirks change you genetically, technically, right? So when she loves someone, she's a vampire. She sucks their blood, right? To me, thinking of the genetics of it, it makes sense. Do I think that she needs to love people that way? I do think that she needs to represent how she loves people, and that's what makes the issue with Uravity and Toga so hard, is because what Uravity is waiting for, and this is the issue I had with this episode too, they cut out the explanations that Toga gave, that like not specifically her explanations, but Toga, before she disappeared, she said like, I heard everything I needed to hear from you. I really wish that you wanted to save me too. And that's the thing, is that like Toga is a villain because no one chose to understand her. Her whole story was that she loved people, so she sucked their blood. And I get it. That is wrong. And it's like, imagine you telling a dog that the first thing they ever learned to love was bite, right? And they love you and they bit you, but they didn't know how to explain it. And you kick this dog every time it bites you, but it's really trying to tell you I love you. That's how I see Toga. And I'm not saying that it's right that she does this, but I think that she should have been taught how to love properly and not completely discarded for it.
She didn't say that because she said that. Like,
in the manga, she explained that a lot more, but in this they didn't.
Yeah, I think they needed to explain that in the manga because you're reading it. I understand exactly what you just said about what she said in the manga is exactly what came off on screen to me. Is she? I feel like she knows. How can I say this? The gravity, no pun intended, of her situation is the fact that this mutation turned her into something completely different. Like it did everybody else. And we know from previous episodes that she suffered because of it, from her surroundings to everything. They did a hell of a job showing that and like talking about that in earlier seasons, to the point where I got it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? She's literally how can I say this? Because it's not her fault. She's
a victim of the genes.
She's a victim of genes and narcissism. Her genes plus like this crazy weird. No, Dabi's more a narcissist. It's just mental illness. Genes cause her mental illness. Her mental illness caused her to become Dahmer-esque. Dahmer-esque people will show up in a world like this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be serial killers. And that's how I think Dabi could have just been a crazy psychopath. All that performative shit again did not need to be there. Toga is the perfect example of what villains that just happen to have mental illness could be. Like there are villains in real life that have mental illness, that kill people, that are literally just murderers for the sake of their psychology, exist. And the fact that it exists in this world makes me respect the world and her so much more. She's so fucking cool.
And I think, and what I'm also kind of saying, because I agree with that. I think that her mental illness, just like how we have pills for so many different things, her mental illness, if had been addressed properly before,
taken care of, yes,
she would not have been this way.
I agree.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like, in a world full of heroes, is Toga not worth saving? Dabi is a different level of fucked up, but Toga, I think, is somebody that was worth saving, and her parents didn't give a fuck enough.
Yep.
You know, so yes, psychology and her physiology and her genetics and everything like that, it backfired on her. But what backfired on her, I guess, like I said, in my perspective more, is just like everyone that was supposed to protect and love her, none of them people did that right. And now she killed them. It's what it is. Now she a demon. It's over. It was a wrap. It's too late now. Now she about to fuck up the world.
Yeah, what's crazy is that her power is very unimpressive.
Almost. Until you realize she got twice as power.
Yeah, it's very unimpressive, but the way she utilizes it is impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, drinking their blood or sucking their blood, whatever, it's very cliche and kind of lame. But the way she goes about using it is so fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. I mean,
it was hard before because before she could just turn into them. But just recently, and that was during the last season, now she can use their quirk. So that turned her into a whole different threat because we know I can't imagine she can use all for one or one for all, but she can use Uravity's quirk. She can use basically anybody with a single quirk, not like compound quirks. I feel like she is technically one of the most busted characters right now, as long as she has it on hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that's what makes it so kind of lame, though.
Yeah,
because she has to have it on hand. You know, it's just.
But she's also not gonna have blood of people she doesn't care about.
Exactly. I don't know. She's just unique, and I like her a lot. I like her way better.
Than Dabi
and Shigaraki and Shigaraki too. I think still think Shigaraki's a lame sauce villain, but again, that doesn't matter.
Let's talk about Shigaraki though, real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
It doesn't matter if the show is good though, you know. And what's good about it is the risk. There's some risk there. It's okay for the first time ever in the show where the villains are the bad part about it. Because again, something like Bleach where the villains were great. Even fucking Naruto, for a lot of it, the villains were great. But you know, it's okay to have where the heroes are the special ones here. You know, the ones we root for.
I just wanted to say about Shigaraki real quick. He is an ass character, and the reason I think he is a bad character is not just because of what his personality trait is. I think he's a bad character because of how they're implementing All for One into him.
Yeah, I agree.
I personally hate it. I would have much rather him just been like,
he's a catalyst. That's it.
This is my body, and let's go ahead and be this. Because at this point, I hate Shigaraki as a character.
Yeah,
worst character in this show right now.
Yeah, because he didn't even need one for all for one. Whatever it is. I get those two confused so much. I don't really care. But he doesn't even need it. He didn't need it. Maybe the regeneration shit he needed, yes. But the evolution of his quirk in the last season made him a fucking menace. And they could have just played off of that. But again, like we talked about, and you talked about last couple of weeks ago, I think, they kind of wrote themselves in the corner with Shigaraki. So they kind of needed more to give Deku more. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Also, All for One needed a new body, and then he can't take One for All without All for One. So I guess, I mean, he would have had to eventually have it regardless, but I just hate how it doesn't feel like a true predecessor or a successor 100%. To something. 100%. It seems like the same person. They just change shells. It's bullshit. I don't like it. Like, Deku is a true successor. He's a successor. Shigaraki is not a successor right now. He is melding in a sense, and I don't like it. It's not good.
He's literally just a puppet. Yeah.
Like, what was all those seasons of character development for us to get here and he just be a new suit?
It was a waste. It was a waste. Let's move on, please. Fuck Blue Lock. We're just gonna go into More Than a Married Couple and keep it moving. More Than a Married Couple. Again, the most perfect. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Quintessential Quintuplets made me enjoy this episode even more because I feel like I finished the movie and I turned More Than a Married Couple on, and I was like, more heat. It was so fucking good, bro. We got to see them kind of explore the beach more, right?
Yeah,
and
man. There's nothing more important than what Akari was doing this entire episode. She's just like, I don't like this. She was on her Nino shit this episode for a little Quintessential Quintuplets reference. She was on her Nino shit. Akari was like, listen, we're married in the practical. You fucking ignoring me and doing all this shit. It's making me feel, icky and I don't like this shit, bro.
Like, are we gonna be married when we get home, or you just
done? I loved her for that. I finally got who I'm rooting for.
Finally? I thought we already agreed on it.
Yeah, but I was flip flopping, bro. I was a flapjacking this motherfucker, man. I was flipping like a hamburger on the stove, bro. I'm like, man, I like fucking what's her Shiori. Shiori's great, and in the car it would be great. And then, fuck, okay, Shiori was cute again. And then it was Shiori, and then it was Akari. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Akari, she's it, bro. She's it.
I agree. Akari is number one. I know Monique and I already agreed on that. But there was so much in this episode, though. Like you said, she was in her bag this episode talking about, like, look, yeah, I need you to look at me. I need you to talk to me. I need you to treat me like my husband when you're not here. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, she talking. She talking. And then when they was in the hot springs,
bruh,
that was another thing. I was like, man. So what you gonna say, Akari?
I was waiting. I was just waiting for that moment where she just let it go with the girls. You know what I'm saying? Like I was expecting her to just be real. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. It's been perfection so far. I think
she's not trying to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because it's all you about.
She's not trying to talk about her feelings too much because of the fact that I think she doesn't want her friends to know how she's feeling, especially with them thinking that she's after someone else, but also him not fully committing to her, you know? Because he ain't said 100% I'm in this with you.
True.
So it's hard for her to talk to her friends about somebody who hasn't decided that's who he's going to go to. I'm rooting for Akari, you know, we don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Shiori slipping, bro. I think next episode is gonna be Shiori, and then I guess I just sped to fucking gut check.
You already gave it to the gut check. So next episode we be looking at Shiori.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be looking at Shiori. Shiori is gonna be more prominent and more bold, like Akari was. The problem is I hope Jiro gets it now. Do you think he gets it now?
I think he does get it for Akari. I don't think he's gonna get it for Shiori though. I think that this just created even more conflict now.
Yeah, because now he's really confused.
Yeah, because like realistically, I think he'll have less conflict with Akari right now, but he's not gonna know how to face Shiori.
Yeah. I think Shiori is a fairy tale. And Akari,
I mean, she's not in a sense, but yeah, like she's a fairy tale in the sense of like that's who he says he wants to be with, but he's actually living it right now, you know? He's doing more or less, you know, what he's with who he wants to be with. He just doesn't quite realize it yet. But I do think that still he could be in a scenario where Shiori is the one. It's just the circumstances don't allow it right now. I think, and I hate to say it, but I feel like they're gonna get to the end of this event, like of this practical exam,
with no resolution.
Nah, it's gonna be a resolution. It better be a resolution. I don't need no. Can I have your name in there?
Oh shit!
I need a. You can have my name. Here's my name.
My name is
like my surname. yeah. You can have my surname. We done.
There it is. Oh, dude, me too. Listen. I know my romance animes, and they are very good. I leave this shit ambiguous.
They need to stop playing checkers and play 3D chess.
I think that's what they're gonna do here. I think they're gonna
play some hollow chess.
It's to your interpretation. I swear, if we don't get a fucking rap, I need a rap for this.
This is why people make fan fiction that's so weird. Because y'all can't just give us a good rap.
You're right. No, this episode is perfection, though. I don't.
Fire, bro. She said, "Why is your knee right there? That's not my knee." I was like, "Whoa!" I wasn't expecting that this episode. Y'all better relax. I better relax.
I just want more. I get so pissed off when I see the credits, bro. I get so mad. I'm like, fuck, man. I want more.
Yeah. And I when I saw the credits, I was like, I love how it looks, but yeah, I wasn't ready for this.
Fuck how it looks, man. I need the show. I need more show. I need the Netflix model for this one. Just
you got 2 more episodes, bro.
I know, and that's why my gut check is I think Shiori's gonna have the prominence in the next episode, and
the episode 12 you got to pick.
Episode 12 is gonna be both of them at the same time, kind of in his ear, and he's gonna do his whole confliction thing, where he's like, bouncing back and forth. And then he picks Akari.
He better pick Akari. If he picks Shiori,
I'll be okay.
I got some letters to write. Some angry fan letters. I ain't never wrote no BS like that before in my life.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
What's your gut check, man? What you think is happening?
Oh man, I think I agree with you. Next episode we're gonna have a Shiori moment. I think the final episode is gonna be a time skip.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think they're gonna time skip a little bit, and it's gonna be like a recap of sorts where it like gives us like what's going on, almost like Quintessential Quintuplets, but like less so. And then hopefully, I feel like they're gonna give us misdirection, right? It's gonna be like he out with Shiori having like lunch or something as friends. They're not gonna tell us they're friends, and then he gonna go home to Akari because that's his babe. That's his woman.
For the last?
Yeah, for the last episode. Next episode, I agree with you. It's gonna be a Shiori moment. I'm not sure what the Shiori moment is yet.
To be honest, I was gonna say I don't know what the Shiori is gonna be either.
Yeah, I feel like the Shiori moment is gonna be something like they're gonna go back to that tree.
Interesting. At that bench.
They're gonna make it mad emotional, and he's gonna be like, he gonna probably finally admit like I've always wanted to be with you. I just feel like,
oh no! Tell Damien like they're doing a romance anime, and I lost him.
So basically, they're gonna go to trains and say, I've always wanted to be with you, but I feel like we've been separated, getting further apart, and that's where we're gonna get. That's where we're gonna get like the revelation between them, where they both kind of understand where their scenario is. Where like we do really like each other, but something's keeping us apart for a reason.
Damn, that shit sound good enough to be right.
I hope so. Shit, we never know.
I feel like I'm gonna be sad with whoever doesn't get picked. I'm gonna be sad. It's gonna be the My Team romantic comedy snafu moment where like I was sad as fuck when he didn't pick. I think her name Yumi. No, he picked her. I can't remember which one it was. When he didn't pick her, I was sad. I'm like, damn. But I feel like he made the right choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. The funny thing is though, is that I don't really feel like either one is a wrong choice. I feel like Akari is my right choice.
That's how I end up feeling at the end of the so to go back to Quintessential. That's how I felt about the end of the Quintessential Quintuplets. Like no choice was wrong except for Ishika to me personally. I think Ishika
because that was shady as fuck. Yeah,
I can't do the shady shit. But everything else was like either one of these girls he picked, even the quiet one, the I want to be like my mom, a teacher. She wasn't really quiet, but she was still up and running for me. You know what I'm saying? She easily fourth, probably, because I had Yosuba third.
If we're not counting Ichika, she still had a place.
Yeah, no, she was just last. But,
yeah,
like I just think no wrong choice could have been made there, and that's how I'm feeling here. No wrong choice, but I will be upset if it's not Akari because Akari is doing everything right. She's special.
It's not that Akari's doing everything right.
You're right.
She's doing most of the things right, but she's also going above and beyond on other things. What it is. Because some of these things were like this swimsuit thing was not needed, but it was a perfect. It was a perfect explanation as to the whole thing. You need to understand
I'm doing this
what
for
she's saying at this point. Yeah,
Yes.
like this is like the kids' gloves are off.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
And it seems like he started to get that, right?
Right.
It started like 2 + 2 was becoming 4 to him.
It was more like 3.5, but he getting there.
True. Valid. All right, man. Let's wrap this episode because this episode is a fucking edited mess.
We just finished talking about More Than a Married Couple episode 10 and all of its greatness. You know, we had to compare it to Quintessential Quintuplets. My Hero Academia episode 11. What did y'all think about Dobby's dance? Was it good enough for you? Let us know what y'all thought about that break song that Polo hit us with. Recommendation roulette. You know, we always bring some great recommendations. And let us know what you thought about Bleach Talk as well. Another great 2 episodes. Happy to always bring it back. Shinobi no Itoki and Reincarnated as a Sword. Kind of our guilty pleasures, but also our just struggles that we watch this season. Mm-hmm. So we also get, like I said, Quintessential Quintuplets. We gave a great little talk about that. Let us know what your review is on it. DIY, another one that Polo picked up. He's loving it. And don't forget, we're gonna watch episode 1 of Baki the Rock next week, just to see what is hitting for, like y'all told us to. And he makes his move for Polo. As well as, you know, we talked about Polo's watch order. Our episode of the week was More Than a Married Couple, obviously. And then this has been episode 182 of Mike Check Waifu.
I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
You follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, Mike Check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.